ThriftCart has both counted and uncounted item types. Sales of both of these item types are reported together under their respective categories in your sales reports. The uncounted item types do not have a quantity of inventory that's being tracked as far as how many you are bringing into the store and how many are currently on the store floor at any time, whereas counted item types do allow for tracking of product being brought into the store and reporting of how many of those items should be on the floor at any given point of time, including the recording of inventory adjustments for product that may have been damaged or got rid of. Typically, when we first set up your account, we create an uncounted item type for each category, and those uncounted item IDs are what gets linked to your register buttons. So that if a cashier rings up an item using a register button instead of scanning a barcode, they are essentially ringing up an uncounted item type. Again, the sale of these uncounted items will still report along with sales of counted items, including the total quantity of uncounted and counted items sold. For example, if I go to the daily summary report, the dollar figure of sales includes sales of counted and uncounted items, and total quantity sold includes both counted and uncounted items. However, inventory has only been reduced by the sales of counted items. You can find these uncounted items under Point of Sale and Inventory, and then clicking on Manage Categories. Scroll down and click on the blue button that reads View Create Items with Uncounted Stock. Here you see both your category list and the associated uncounted item types. Only uncounted items display in here, no counted items. So any items that you see are uncounted items. And these are likely the item IDs that are being referenced by your register buttons. So the second type of item, the counted item, gets made individually by selecting on Point of Sale and Inventory, then Add Inventory Items, and choosing any one of the blue boxes above to add product into ThriftCart. So anytime that you print a barcode for a one-of-a-kind item, a counted item gets added into the system. For example, this item number for the book that I just added is a counted item number. Also, if I scanned in the UPC code from purchase product, and entered it as a new item into ThriftCart, this would also result in a counted item number. If you have an item ID and you're wondering if it is a counted item number or an uncounted item number, you can click on View Edit Items and put in the product ID, and then look in the quantity row. If you see a count, then it is for sure a counted item number. Let me grab an uncounted item type to show you that example. We'll say item ID 1326. An uncounted item in the quantity section will read unlimited. And if you click on inventory adjustments, you'll get a message that you cannot increase or decrease inventory because there is no quantity being tracked for an uncounted item. Whereas for a counted item, in the quantity section, it will display how many are on hand. And if you click on inventory adjustments, you can see a history of that product anytime it was added, adjusted, or sold. If there's 0 on hand, I'll go ahead and record an inventory adjustment so you can see how this looks. And the quantity will display in the Edit Item screen as 0. Again, reporting of both counted and uncounted item sales are combined. So in your daily summary report, you can see total dollar amount and quantity of items sold, whether these were counted items or uncounted items. Even in your production versus sales report, where you may want to track the total number of items that you're selling versus those that you're printing barcodes for, quantities sold data here includes uncounted items as well. Now, it is possible to link a counted item to a register button. In most cases, it works best to have your cashiers scan barcodes to ring up counted product and to use register buttons for uncounted product. But let's say, for example, you want to track the exact number of a particular type of item on your floor, and you don't want to put barcodes on that product, so you want your cashiers to ring it up using a register button. In that case, it makes sense to link your register button to a counted item number. So first, you would make that item number under Add Inventory Items. You could use the middle box here that the item does not have a barcode or ID and put in what this item is. Let's say this is 12 by 12 tile. Put it under building materials, and maybe we'll put an initial quantity of 50 pieces. And then we sell them for $1.99, and these are donated items. And then tag a vendor to it. And now we have a ThriftCart item number that is a counted item number. This is item 2090. You would then link this to a register button. I'm going to go through this process quickly, but if you want to learn how to build register buttons, you can review that on another video or reach out to our support staff. With that button configured, then when a cashier clicks on it on the register and sells one of those items, it is now pulling that product from your inventory. You can see this by going to Inventory Adjustments, putting in that counted item number, and seeing the history of that product. So we added 50 of them, and then one was sold on receipt 4951. If this is the way that you do track some inventory, just make sure that anytime you add additional product to the floor, you use that exact item number. So coming back to Add Inventory Items, you do not want to use this one-of-a-kind item adder, as that will create additional item numbers that are unrelated to the item number linked to your register button. Instead, you want to use the first option here where it says the item has a barcode or existing item ID, and make sure that you look up that exact item number that's linked to your register button and add more product to a new batch. For example, we'll say that we received another 100 of these being donated. Add to inventory. Now we can see the total count on hand is 149. So the 50 we added originally minus one we sold plus the 100 we just added. And anytime that a cashier clicks on that register button, it sells one more of that exact item. Please let us know if you have any questions.